ready to get inspired. This is the Go for the Goldy podcast.
It's Friday, November 5th, 2021, and this is episode 46 of the Go for the Goldy show. Today, I'm joined by a former teammate of mine that has had an illustrious kicking career in professional indoor football, the Golden Lake himself. Joining me from Flint, Michigan, it's Jimmy Allen. Jimmy, thanks for spending your Friday with me, man. How you doing?
Doing well. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, definitely. We've been trying to make this work for a long time, and we're both very busy men, so I'm happy that we could set aside some time and talk because, man, people who don't know, we played together, about 5 years ago?
So it feels like forever.
It feels like forever, and it's been really a treat to see your career, progress over these 5 years, and now you're coaching. Well, I'll let you, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody, and let them know who you are, a little bit about you.
Well, former teammate for the Mr. Marathon over there. Been playing ball at this level, I think, 8 or 9 years. I couldn't even tell you now. Starts to all turn into a blur. I play, I coach, I teach. Anything to do with football, I'm trying to be a part of it. So
that's awesome. So you coach, obviously. You're a professional arena football kicker. So obviously you're a kicking coach. Where do you coach at?
So I coach at my high school here in Fenton, Michigan, and then I coach at a Division III college, Alma College here in Michigan as well.
Oh, that's so cool. How long have you been doing the college gig for?
So this is actually my second year. Well, it's kind of the first. Last year was my first year, but with COVID, I think we only ended up playing 2 games. So,
gotcha. Yeah, that's always kind of been, how you always think about the what ifs in life, right? You think about, if I made one decision back when I was 15, the fly of a butterfly wing or the flap of a butterfly wing kind of thing. And
right.
I always think about coaching would have been such a cool career path to go down. And that's awesome that you're in it, man, because I know you're such a mellow guy and you're very logical. And, there's some coaches that it can get frustrating to be like a high strung, especially in a position like kicking. You got to kind of be zenned out, and I think you're a perfect candidate for someone to kind of pass the knowledge down to these young kids.
You just kind of I try to be as calm as I can because you got to pass it on to the kickers. Because if you got a kicker that's out there stressing, prior to every kick, it's not going to go well.
Yep. So I think we'll get started today with. I think it'd be interesting to hear about your journey to becoming a professional kicker. Was this were you a soccer player in high school, or were you a football player that just started kicking, or how did that come about? And when did you start to get into kicking field goals?
So I started kicking probably age 6. First year you could play tackle football. Obviously I played soccer growing up. My dad was a high-level soccer player. Played college, and so I think 6 years old, first practice, they said, "Who can kick?" So I think I can do it. And, ever since then, I haven't looked back. Now, I played other positions here and there, but it all comes back to kicking and punting.
Right.
So I just got lucky. I was at the right practice at the right time, and I was the only one that made the kick, and never really looked back from there. That's
awesome. So then 6 years old, you start kicking. So then, you start to – because if memory serves me correct, I think, I don't think we kicked field goals in, a little loop. I don't even remember. I don't remember kicking be a part of it. Maybe it was. I played receiver, so I got 1,000 hits to my head, so I have a terrible memory. But so when you got to high school, when did it start to become a realization for you that you're like maybe this can be like a full, maybe I can take this to the next level? Because most kids are they have their last game senior year and then that's it. So right. A very small percentage obviously get to play in college, and then even a fewer percentage get to play, professionally. So when did that realization come real for you?
Probably, I'd say freshman or sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
You start going to these kicking camps and working with these professional trainers and getting ranked. And as my ranking started to climb nationally, it started to see, hey, this could be something I could do, at least in the college. I never had a thought to go. I mean, it's always in the back of my head to go pro, but it was one of those, we'll see. But at least I knew I could get to college and get college paid for and
Right.
see where it goes from there.
Right, and it's like anything. You can't, especially with sports. You can't bank on going professional. Who can, right? Unless you're like
Right.
LeBron James or something.
Yeah.
But that's so cool that you basically like freshman year. So you had like your whole 4 years to really dedicate. Like this is something that's achievable for me. And when you
Right.
talk about like national rankings, how does it work? Like how do they like on what basis? What's the criteria for you to be ranked?
So there's a couple big national camps where guys honestly bring in 200, 300, 400 guys from ninth grade all the way to senior year and just let them compete, let them kick field goals. They give you like 12 field goals probably, and you just get your stats from that. And if you're punting, they give you hang time and distance, and they got a formula where they say, okay, this punt was worth like 110 points, this punt was worth 90. So I mean, it's kind of
Interesting.
super scientific, and I never understood it until I started getting into the coaching side, where I said, oh well, it all makes sense now.
Right. Now, did you ever try punting too, or is that like too different? Or
So I was actually a higher ranked punter in college than I was, or in high school than I was kicker.
come on, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So, what made you quit punting then?
I did it through college and even playing semi-pro, I punted. But once you get to arena ball,
There's no punts.
there's no punts. So it wasn't so much my decision as, well, if I want to play, I gotta just not punt for right now.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. What was the highest that you ever got ranked? Do you remember nationally?
Maybe it's all differs based on what ranking you have. Like, so for football, they get Rivals and Scouts and ESPN, right? They rank you that way. So there's 3 different camps that will rank you, and they differed per camp. I'd be a 5-star at one guy, 4.5 for the other 2, top 10, and then top 30 in some other camp. So it just depended on who you asked.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, where did you go to college?
I played junior college ball out here in Grand Rapids.
Gotcha. And how long did you do that for?
I spent 1 year there, and then I transferred to a junior college out in Minnesota, which is Rochester Community Technical College.
Nice. And obviously you went well there, right?
I actually never played it down there.
Really?
So I transferred out there. I had a transcript dispute with the local community college here, where some of my classes wouldn't transfer to the school I was at.
Oh, that
and
sucks.
I never got a chance to play. So
Wow. So, explain that experience, because that's like you uphold, especially when you're a kid. What were you, like 19, 20,
yeah,
something like that?
yep.
So you uproot your life, and it's hard to leave your friends. I know for me, I left Buffalo to go to Charlotte when I was 21, and it's hard to leave your friends. You get that FOMO, you know what I mean? Because it's like those are, the best years of your life, right? But
Right.
You're focused on your sport, and then you get
Right.
there and that situation happens. Like what kind of mindset did that put you in then? Because I can imagine it's frustrating, but at the same time you still want to play. You can't cry over spilled milk.
The first couple weeks after I got the news was fairly tough. I was getting a lot of calls from my parents. Hey, how we doing? Everything good? But the team really took me in. I mean, I was still a part of the team, just wasn't able to play I still kind of practice with them, but I just wasn't able to play games.
Gotcha.
So it was basically being a part of the football team without putting on the pads.
Right.
So it wasn't awful, but being 14 hours away from home and not playing football is not
Yeah.
ideal for me.
You still got to kind of scratch the itch a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I'll tell you, man. I'm not just saying this because you're on the on the show right now, but you are a really good kicker. So it must have killed the coach to just watch you do what you do at practice and not have you on the field on game days, because having obviously as people know, having a good kicker is a game changer. If you have a reliable kicker, that's a big time deal, and it's probably watching you killed them.
Well, they had obviously college ball. You're going to get the best of the best. So they
Right.
had a couple good guys that were able to get the job done.
That's cool.
It wasn't fun watching from the sidelines.
I bet.
I'd much rather it be me, but they did well. They performed really well. So
So what happened after college there? After that debacle, like you went
So-
on, and what was the next move?
I was out in Minnesota. This would have been spring semester, and I was getting ready I had a workout with Winnipeg of the CFL.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 days prior to the workout, my appendix burst.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yep.
Is it the Blue Bombers?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I was supposed to go to camp with them, and right before I was getting ready to make the drive up to Winnipeg, my appendix burst. So that was another. I think that kept me out 6 months because they had to, it wasn't. They couldn't just do it with the 3 little incisions. They had to cut everything open. So
oh my God.
I had. I think I was in bed for like 2 weeks after the surgery, and I didn't kick for like 5 or 6 months after that. So
holy cow. So man, so you just back to back you got jabbed. You got the transcript issues, then your appendix burst, and
Minnesota's not my favorite.
Yeah, makes sense. And so now, like, all right, so now at that point, how long had you been out of kicking for?
It would have been about a year.
That's crazy, man. What a story. I didn't know any of this. So what was the next move then? So then you get the go-ahead from your doctor. He's like, all right, go ahead. You can play, you can kick again. You go play football.
Yep.
What's your first move? What do you do then?
So I came back home, and I started playing semi-pro. Just trying to get film, back to the CFL, try to do what I can to try to get back there. Mm-hmm. And that next winter, that's where I heard about Arena Ball. So they had a team out here, the Port Huron Patriots. They played in the CIFL, which was Saginaw Sting, all the teams we used to play, right?
Gotcha, yep.
So they were in that league, and I went up there and ended up catching on with them, kind of. I was a part. They had me and another kicker. So my rookie year was really just me kind of sitting the bench, learning as much as I could, being a sponge, basically.
Just ready to go when they need you, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And that was with Port Huron, right?
Yep.
And then because people, it's not your father's arena football nowadays. Back in the day it was, the AFL, and that was really about it, and
right.
Then I don't even know what happened. Was it like the AFL kind of folded, but the teams didn't really fold? They just kind of like made like more regional based type stuff. Like
that's a whole mess. There was AFL. They had the AFL 2, which was basically the lower division, and then every once in a while a regional league would pop up here and there. And then the AFL went away for a while, and the regional leagues became more, I guess, just bigger in general. All the AFL fans that didn't have AFL now were going to these regional leagues. Regional leagues grew, AFL came back, AFL went away again, regional leagues got bigger, and now you've got really 3 big leagues that have a pretty wide footprint.
And what are those?
It'd be the IFL, the Indoor Football League, National Arena League, and the Champions Indoor Football League, or Champions Indoor Football.
What's the who are the Frisco Fighters in? Do you know?
They are in the IFL.
Yeah, man. Like, I'll tell you. So I live in Frisco. Like, I live in downtown Frisco. Downtown. Yeah. It's not but I'll tell you, the game was packed. Like the arena was sold out, man, and it was cool to see. And I'm old, so I'm not going to play football again. But man, I don't know. But it seriously, man, like what a league! If all the teams in that league, because they were playing the Spokane Shock, who I think were in the AFL at one point, weren't they?
I don't know. I know they've been back and forth between being in the league and then being dormant. So. Oh,
okay. I got you. Yeah, because I was like, that's a far away for them to come too, from Spokane, Washington, down to Frisco, Texas. Like that's across the country and north and south too. But so when did the Lightning come into your world?
Honestly, just being a part of some of these Facebook groups and having a lot of friends that played ball at a high level, just came across the tryout. And
I forgot to tell you when I laugh. So the Cowboys practice facility is right down the road here. It's in Frisco.
Yeah.
And that used to be my gym, and we do like sprint work on Fridays over there. Me and my friends, and there's a lot of bars and restaurants in the area too. So the one night we're out, and this was probably like April, somewhere in that neighborhood. And we're just out at one of the bars having a good night. And I walk by and I do a double take, and I'm like, Mook? Remember Mook, our coach?
Zimmerman?
Yeah. I was like,
he was coaching right after I left, but yeah, I do
Oh,
know the name,
okay.
I know of him, yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know that you guys didn't cross paths. Oh,
Right.
okay. But yeah, so I came across, I'm like, what? And you know him, he's like a monster of a human, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was like we were in like a loud club. So my wife, she turns to me, she's like, why are you, stop. Like she thought I was like picking a fight with this guy, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then he bear hugged me and she was just like, oh, like she didn't know what to do. And then I turned around, I'm like, Jenny, this is Mook. And she's like, oh, thank God.
Thought it was over for you.
Yeah. But yeah, he could literally just go like that and I'd be dead.
Yeah.
But he moved down here a couple months ago and I'm like, what a small world, man. It's unbelievable.
Is he coaching?
Yeah. We talked for a second because it was just like a loud club, and we might start doing he might start doing that sprint work with me and stuff. But looking by his Facebook and stuff, it looks like he's coaching. So I think little kids, he's like doing like little loops. It's kind of cool,
Okay.
you know. It's huge down here, man. It is.
Yeah.
Obviously you would know that, but
Yeah.
it's crazy. It is. I live across the street from the Toyota Stadium where FC Dallas plays.
Soccer, yep.
Yeah, and there's high school football there every Thursday and Friday all year. It's crazy.
Are
Yeah,
they packing the arena? Or back in the
it's
stadium?
packed. It's packed. Like we literally live across the street from it, and we saw tailgates every Thursday and Friday, and like bus loads of kids, and it is because you got to think the city of Frisco itself has 17 5A high schools. Like, it's insane. Yeah, it's nuts. And this is 40 minutes north of Dallas. So we're not even, like, close to Dallas.
Right.
Yeah, and there's that many. You can see why they're, like, so good at football. Because it's every, like, pocket is that. Like, what's his name? Kyler Murray came from Allen, which is right down the street from us here. And that stadium is sold out, 20,000 every Friday. It's better than like most college, not most, but like some like University of Buffalo doesn't get 20,000 every game.
Right. You ever feel like you missed out by growing up playing ball where you did? Like you could have been down in Texas playing or Georgia?
I think about that a lot, man. I really do. I would never want to trade
Friday
away.
Night Lights vibe.
Yeah, it is. It is like all the movies. Like I thought the movies were like hyping it. But they're like not doing it justice. It's even like crazier, you know?
Yeah.
When I was working for, the soccer team here, I was talking to a guy at a gym who was, working negotiation deals with like packages and stuff. And one of the local, down here what they do is they call it the ISDs. So the independent school districts. So they all play like at different stadiums that are built. They don't like have their own stadiums. So like the one stadium sells sponsorships for $25,000 a year, and it's a minimum 3-year spend. It's a high school. Like it's a different. I didn't. That's not what I grew up with. I grew up with like 20 people there. You know what I mean?
The local car dealership passing out flyers at
Exactly.
games and stuff. Yeah.
That's right. Yep. So, yeah, I do think about that, man. I think about that because, I'm not – listen, if I was, and I know I'm a short guy, and I know I was never going to go to the NFL or anything like that, but you always think that if you had that, like, the iron sharpens iron kind of mentality, you're not going to get better unless you're playing this, like, crazy good competition, know. So, it's funny because I'm sure it's pretty similar where you're from, too. You'll have like one guy every couple of years like go to the NFL, and that's like big news. Whereas like most of the people here most of the people in the NFL are from like Texas or Florida or California. You know what I mean?
Well, Flint's got some football skill. I mean, Mark Ingram's from here.
I didn't know that. Really?
Mark Ingram, Jake Long, Zach Line. We got some.
Damn,
really?
players.
I mean, we're more of a basketball city for sure.
Yeah.
But
well, Jenny, my wife, she went to school with Gronkowski. He's from Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he's got that stupid accent that we all have.
See, I don't hear the accent.
He says like Tide Pods, like we say like it's a little off. Like how we talk is like a little, because I'll say something and then like people's heads will turn like, wait, what? Like pop, car, like like the AR thing.
Little East Coast.
Yeah, we're like in between like New York City and like the Midwest. You know what I mean? We're some kind of like weird hybrid.
Do you ever get mistaken for being Canadian while you're down in Texas?
They always say like this. It's such a stupid joke, but like you're from Buffalo, and this is basically Canada. It's like no, it's not. This is basically Mexico. Then
See, I've learned to love it. Like when I lived in Corpus, they said you sound like you're like a country Canadian.
Country Canadian.
Because they said Michigan's basically Canada, same deal. But
yeah,
for me to get to Canada, I got to drive an hour south.
Do you really?
Yeah, to get to the bridge in Detroit.
Oh, interesting. Oh yeah.
So I always tell people I live north of Canada.
That's funny you say that because when I was a kid, Buffalo is on the border, and when you go to the beach in Canada, because we'd go there when you were 19 because you could drink when you were 19, and when we get over the border, it was really funny. You'd see signs and it was like, "Welcome to Southern Canada," and it was like beaches and palm trees. Like it was like being in. Because that's their Florida, like Southern Ontario.
is it for them, yeah.
Yeah. So it was just a funny, like, everyone thinks of Buffalo as this, like, and Michigan is this, like, cold tundra, frozen, wonderland. And then you go over the border and they're billing it as, like, this is Florida.
It's the best part of Canada, yeah.
So when you, so our experience in Buffalo was definitely interesting. And I think that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But I found I was going through my YouTube videos today, and I found the video of our game from Saginaw, and you had some sick field goals on there. I didn't have time to edit it. I'll edit it at some point, and I'll send them to you.
Okay.
But you had some really good field goals in that game, man. You were basically like our only points in that game, I think. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was a home game for me. I've been traveling to Buffalo and driving 6 hours each way for games, and then play Saginaw 30 minutes up the road.
That was awesome.
So I had everybody there. I actually tore my quad that game too.
Did you? What?
Yeah,
Really?
I tore my quad on the kickoff. Yeah.
Wow.
If you watch the game, you could see like after every field goal, I'm progressively getting worse and worse throughout the game, just walking.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's funny because I was standing next to you on kickoffs because I was on kickoff team, and I was your holder, and I had no idea.
No. That was the last game I played for you guys, I believe.
Wow. So you did a walk-off at home. You were just like, you know what? This is it.
I'm done driving 6 hours. Yeah, I'm good.
No, I don't blame you, man. I really don't. That's commitment. And I think people don't understand that, too, when they see arena football is like this isn't full-time. But a lot of people, I think that just because, it's like a production and they're paying to watch you, but it's like that's going towards like not us for sure. You know what I mean? That's like going to keep it. I mean, not even like it's zero. I would say like the goal is to not lose as much money as possible.
Right.
Well,
I mean that was middle of the road league comparatively to like the IFL, CIF, NAL. Once you get up to the next level leagues, I would say it's as close to a full-time job as you're going to find in minor league football. Yeah,
they the Frisco Fighters here. I mean, I was very impressed, man. It was definitely a top-notch organization, and they actually did at halftime. They brought one of the Cowboys who just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and they did this big ceremony for him at halftime. So it was really cool. Yeah, it was very good production value, and like it was entertaining, and Frisco won, so that was cool, and it was just a good time, man. It was definitely a good time. I'm always like, that's why I text you on the side to be like, you should try out for Frisco. You should try out for Frisco. Their kicker was pretty good though, but you're better.
I can't even remember who their kicker is anymore.
He was he had some Hispanic name. I forgot though. He was pretty short. And
you just narrowed it down to half the kickers.
Okay, true. But yeah, he was good. He basically won them the game.
Okay.
Because their kicker for Spokane, you should try it for Spokane. Their kicker sucked. He blew the game for him. He missed like 4 field goals and like all their extra points.
It's tough, man. You're dealing with what 8.5 foot uprights. 8
it's
feet uprights.
Tiny.
It's
not
fun.
Yeah, it's a hard ass sport, Yeah. So after Buffalo, what did you do then? Because I mean, You see, because Salina, I think, is it, or Salina? How do you say it?
Salina.
Salina's a part of it. Iowa. I mean, you can't see the stream right now, but I have the picture of you from Iowa, from the picture you sent me from behind.
Yep.
I have that one up on the screen in the middle.
Okay.
And people probably don't know, but that's the team that Kurt Warner played for, right? Like, that's where he got his career going? So. So how would kind of take me through, because I've always wanted to ask you, like, after Buffalo, take me through your career, man.
So it was after Buffalo, I went to. Oh, this is so far. I think Muskegon with the West Michigan Ironmen. They had just started. I got like 3 or 4 games in from them, and then Iowa Barnstormers called.
And so what league are they in?
They're in the IFL with Frisco.
Nice. Okay. Gotcha. So that's a big time.
Yeah, it was, 20,000 seat stadium.
That's so cool.
I mean, some of the away games were like playing in, was it Sioux Falls, South Dakota? Probably one of the most intimidating arenas I've ever been in.
Is that the Storm?
Gray. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So they've got the winning tradition. They've got the gray turf. Everything in the arena is gray. And they pack it.
That's so cool. And I think that's the move for these arena teams is, like, go to, like, not the most populous cities. Like, if you go to Chicago, you go to New York, there's too much.
Win.
Right. They don't care. Like, there's too much going on. But you go to these places where, they'll latch onto it, like Sioux
if
Falls.
you can be the only show in town, you can win them over.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, so how long did you play for them for?
I just finished the season with them. I think I came in with 8 or 9 games left. Finished the season with them, didn't renew my contract. So I went and signed with the Dayton Wolfpack in the NAL. They were going to be a full-fledged member of the NAL. They ended up turning into a travel team.
Oh.
So they didn't have a home arena. They were around. So I left them and got picked up by Corpus Christi Rage down there in Texas. Played there for a year. Well, kind of. I got hurt, tore my quad again.
Jeez.
In game 1 and ended up on IR. So from there, I went to Bismarck.
North Dakota?
Yep. Played with the Bismarck Bucks for about 2 or 3 games, got released. And then from there, I went to Salina, and I've been there ever since.
That's awesome. And that's Kansas?
Yep.
How far is that for you? So do you live in Salina then, or do you travel to all the games, or how does that work?
Just during the season, I do live down there.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. How does the structure work? Like, do they pay for your room and board, or just your room, or?
They take care of. So typically, we'll stay in like a hotel or apartments, and the hotel will be a main sponsor, or the apartment complex will be a main sponsor, so they get something out of it, and so do we.
Wow, that's really cool, man. That's what a cool experience. And how old are you?
It's fun. 29.
That's amazing, man. So you still got some years left, right?
I got a couple left in me, yeah.
That's so wow. I'm happy for you because what we went through in Buffalo was kind of rocky, and especially I didn't know the story about leading up to that either. So that's you had a hell of a struggle to get there, but
it's been a process.
Yeah, I love it, man. So do you think you'll ride it out in Salina?
If they'll let me, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great city. It reminds me of home a little bit. It's a smaller town, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they got 50,000 people in the city and only 4,000 people in the rest of the county.
Wow.
So it's not Buffalo and it's not Flint.
Right. Let me I'm gonna Google it or map it out right now.
Okay.
When's your season?
From beginning of March till I think we played the championship game last year towards the end of July.
I love maybe I'll make it up for a game, man. That would be a lot of fun.
Come on out.
I wonder how far it is. I'm gonna look it up right now. Google Maps to Salina. So Frisco, Texas. What's your guess? How far do you think it would be?
7.5.
7.5. I can do that easy. We're going actually to. Me and my fiance are going to the Bills game in New Orleans for Thanksgiving, and because New Orleans is only 8 hours from here. And
is it really?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Sense.
Right?
It doesn't make sense.
There's so many things that I'm so confused about when because I drive from Frisco to Buffalo when we go home for holidays.
That's a hell of a drive.
Yeah, it's not. It's only 22 hours, and basically Nashville is exactly halfway. So it's a cool halfway spot too. So we'll stop in Nashville, go out, and then just keep on going. How do you spell Salina? Salina?
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Cool. The reason I don't know, I get confused how to say it, because right down the road here, there's a Salina, but it's spelled Celina, but pronounced the same exact way. Even less, 6 hours and 23 minutes.
Look at that! I just saved you an hour.
Dude, I'm in. We'll go, because you know what? The casino's right on the way too. Let's go.
The one in Oklahoma?
There's one. It's in Oklahoma. It's like right on the border near us. It's like an hour from us.
Wichita Falls area.
Not that one. I think. Oh, you know what? There is one over there too. Isn't there? I'm looking at the map right now. I'm still learning about Texas. I've been here for 3 years. But yeah, it's literally straight up for me. I just take 35. Okay.
Yeah, I live on 35.
That'd be a fun little night. You know what I mean? Just go. Yeah.
Get you some tickets.
All right, cool. All right, it's you're on.
Get your jersey so you can get out there and hold again.
Really? Oh, I'm in. Let's go. Sign me for a game. It's like the making a kid's dream come true for me. That'd be fun. I'm definitely in, man. We'll go up though for real.
For sure.
All right, cool. So, all right, so switching gears from football, let's talk video games, because that was the first thing I mentioned when I saw your headset. So, Call of Duty guy, obviously, right?
Yeah.
What else do you play?
Well, I'm not good at Call of Duty, but I play. Try to get in Madden. Obviously, you got to play Madden when you play football. Get my butts kicked by my teammates every time I play. 2K, same story. I like to think I'm good, but then I start playing the guys and makes me not want to play.
That's what gets me so frustrated about like online gaming, because it's just like it's so good. Like people are so good at games, it just kind of like ruins it. You know what I mean?
I don't like online gaming because I can't yell at the person.
Dude, also
like
true.
you got to get in their head a little bit.
Right,
I don't have skill, so I got to do all the mental games.
That's part of the game, man. That's one of my favorite things I still do as an athlete is I read this in a book somewhere, I forgot where, but it was like the psychology of sport. So when you're at peak performance, it's when you're like unconscious, it's called a flow state. And it's like it's impossible to like consciously get in a flow state. It's just something that kind of naturally happens. Yeah, as you know, like we've all been in a moment where you just feel like you're never going to miss a field goal, or I'm running the best I've ever run in my life and effortlessly. But a way to knock people out of that flow zone is to ask them how they're doing what they're doing. So
to
like
think about it.
Yeah. So if you're like killing it, and I was like on the other team, it'd be like, dude, that's your fourth field goal. Like you got to go talk to our kicker. Like, how are you this good? And then you start thinking about it, and then they like you get in your own head. So I do that a lot. I'm in a bowling league on Thursday nights, and if someone I'm bowling against is doing really good, I'll be like, yo, how are you, like, what mark are you hitting? Or, like, how many steps do you take? And then they just start screwing up.
Well, you just put your secret out there for the web, so now you're whoever you're playing against is going to wear headphones.
There's 3 people watching, so I don't think I'm in it. But, yeah, so Call of Duty, 2K, Madden. Now, tell me you don't play with the Lions on Madden. I know you're a fan, but, I mean, listen, the Bills were terrible for 20 years. I had to avoid them when I was playing Madden,
Lions have 1 playoff win since I've been alive, and that was the year I was born.
I feel you, man. I mean, until 2017, the Bills hadn't been in the playoffs for 18 years. So
it's one of those like you watch as a Lions fan, you're like, all right, this is the ground level. We can't get any lower. Then comes next year, and here we are at 0-7 or 0-8.
I'll tell you, man, I have really felt bad for them this year. Like, that video you posted, was it TikTok or was it Instagram?
I think I put it everywhere I could just so people knew the plight of being a Lions fan.
Dude, that was... I'm not going to say funny because that's a slap in your face, but, like, it was like, because it didn't happen to me. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, I actually did shed a tear. It wasn't, like, super sad, but it was just, like, a dumbfounded, how?
Just what?
How?
A 66-yard field goal off the crossbar. Like, as a kicker, You have to like respect it. You know what I mean? You're like, damn it, like
I had to respect it. And
Right.
I never doubt Justin Tucker. He's got a cannon.
right.
But why against my guys?
Exactly.
If I could have watched that in like the 4:00 game, I would have been happy, man. Oh, great kick! I could celebrate the kick. I couldn't even celebrate the kick.
That was brutal. Who's your head
cried.
coach? The head coach is pretty sweet. I like that guy.
Yeah, the new one, Dan Campbell.
Yeah, big Jack guy. And
Yep.
did you ever see how much coffee he drinks in a day?
No.
Google that. It will blow. I don't even want to like butcher it, but I remember watching it and I'm like, and I'm somebody who drinks a lot of coffee. Like I drink pump fuel in the morning before I work out, and then I have a 24-ounce double caffeine coffee. Like, and then I might have like a Celsius later on. So, like I drink a lot, and I was listening to what he was drinking. I'm like, yo, this guy's gonna die.
Well, you see how animated he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it didn't surprise
Gotta
me.
do something.
Yeah.
You gotta do something. Yeah.
No, I like him though. I think they'll turn it around. I mean, hopefully. I mean, Detroit. See, this was always my argument because, like, yes, I understand the Lions have had one playoff win in your lifetime, and that's when you were 4 you said or something.
I was 0. I was
Zero.
just born.
Yeah. So I understand that, but you've seen your Tigers, the Pistons, the Red Wings. Like they've all won. So like,
Yeah.
We've never had anything in Buffalo. We've never had a parade. There's been nothing. The Sabres and the Bills
Yeah.
have never won.
I thought the Sabres were pretty good when they had Thomas up there.
The Sabres, so in '99, they lost the Stanley Cup to the Dallas Stars. Brett Hull's foot was in the crease.
Okay.
Very controversial. All you Stars fans out there are going, "Ooh." It was in the crease.
Are there even any Stars fans? Let's be real.
You know what? I have to give them props. I always said that too, and I hated them. Dude, they're into it here. They're into hockey in Dallas. I don't know what it is. It's wild. It's pretty.
I feel like
it's crazy.
I feel like Dallas would be like just like Arizona.
That's what I thought.
They got a team, but whoever they're playing is gonna overtake the stands.
Dude, that's what I thought. It's huge here. It's really something that's impressive.
Really?
And
Huh.
I don't think that's like you giving props to Minnesota. Like the Stars ruined my Stanley Cup dreams. Like I hate the Dallas Stars, but yeah, they. I got to give them respect, man. They're not like the Florida Panthers. No one goes to those games.
Right.
The Atlanta Thrashers. Obviously, no one went to those games and they moved.
Right.
But here they're big. They're pretty big here. So
Do they have like a good youth program?
yeah,
area?
they have a really good youth program, and they practice up here in Frisco too. Actually, they have a practice arena, and there's a ton of men's leagues here. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. So
You wouldn't think they had any ice.
I wouldn't think that either. Yeah, it was really a surprise to me when I saw it. Like they have watch parties for the Stars games all over the place here. Like at the Star. Yeah, it's pretty big. But all right, enough complimenting Dallas. But the point I was making was, we've never had a championship, and it's like,
Right.
and we've been burned. Those 4 Super Bowls in a row. And then, so I've always felt for the Lions, though, because football is different. Those other championships are nice, but football is like such an American, like, I think it's America's pastime. I don't care what baseball
Not
people
baseball.
say.
Yeah.
No, I mean, football was like Sundays when 1 o'clock in the East Coast, noon here, like when that hits, it's just all football. Like the country like stops. And I think that's so cool, and yeah, I hope the Lions clean it up. They never even been to a Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, right?
They won the 54 before the NFL merged with the AFC.
Right. Yeah.
They won the world title, whatever it's called.
Yeah, because they've never been to a Super Bowl, right?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Like I think it's them and Cleveland have never been to Super Bowls.
God, at least we're not Cleveland. That's what I get to tell myself every day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people say that. But anyway, back to the gaming. So what I was telling you was, so I won't shut up about this. I've been talking about this to everybody. So if I've told you about this and you're listening, you can just go away. But it's called play to earn games. Okay.
Okay.
So they are. Do you know anything about cryptocurrency or like blockchain or anything like that?
I know I got some Dogecoin.
Perfect.
That's about the extent of my knowledge.
Perfect. Not a problem. So it's very easy to explain. So think about Call of Duty. You play Call of Duty, okay?
All right.
So the moment you turn on Call of Duty, you select a character. Okay. Now in Call of Duty, you paid $60 for that character, right? Or I'm sorry, you paid $60 for the game. In the game that I'm playing is called Blanco's Block Party.
Is that the game you were streaming earlier?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So you buy that game. I'm sorry, it's free. You just download it on your PC. The character that appears, you own. That's yours. And then you play the game, which is free to play. And as you upgrade your character and as it gets better, it gains value. So you can sell it.
Huh.
Right? So Blanco's, the game that I play, is from the studio. It's called Mythical Games. Okay. They actually helped create Call of Duty. They did Call of Duty. They did Guitar Hero. I believe they're in World of Warcraft. So they're a legit gaming operation, legit company that ventured into the play-to-earn territory. So these play-to-earn games, you literally just play the games, but they're NFTs. Everything in the game is an NFT, so you own everything that happens in the game, and then you can sell it. So it's a really interesting concept. It's changing the world.
Is it do you get paid monetarily based off your skill or just time spent playing?
Neither. So it's whatever the market values that. So say you're playing I'm not. Are you into Fortnite at all? Do you play Fortnite? Yeah, I never got into that either. But say you're playing, and I this may not be the case in Call of Duty because I don't play that either. But say you in the game at a specific time, some very exclusive guns drop, and you only are making 1,000 of them, and you have one. Well, in Call of Duty world, you just own that gun now. You can't do anything with it except play it, right? Well, in play to earn world, if you have one of those 1,000 guns, that's very rare, and you can turn around and sell that gun. Yeah, what a cool concept, right?
Yeah.
So it's this game I'm looking at now is called a Light Night. It's basically Fortnite, just on the blockchain. So if you're listening to this, I'm telling you, you look back at this. What's today? Oh, November 5th, 2021. If you're playing Fortnite, play Light Night, and you will make a lot of money. So that's it's crazy. This world is not even scratched the surface yet. People like you who are gamers don't even know about this stuff yet. Once it starts to get mainstream, it's going to change the gaming world because it turns the system on its head, right? It's not I'm buying a video game and then I'm going to buy you for extras as it goes. It's the exact opposite. It's I'm playing it for free and then I'm getting paid to play it as I get better at it because I'm gathering, my character's leveling up and all this kind of stuff.
So all these guys do is just offer a server and everything else is up to the players, I guess, right?
Yeah, in Blanco's, there's a place called the Junction, which is kind of like the central lobby. When you turn the game on and you hop in the world, that's where you start. Right. But all the games that you play is kind of like a Mario Party situation where it's mini games. They're all worlds that are developed by creators. So it's a really interesting concept.
I'm gonna have to get on that.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I haven't shut up about it. I'm in a group chat with two of my buddies. They got on it today, and we just are constantly talking about. And the other cool part of it too is they do character drops as well. They look like the Funkos, those little Funk.
Yeah.
So the characters look like that, and the graphics are pretty cool. And they'll work with an artist to make a unique one, and they'll only make 1,000 of them, 2,000 of them, 10 of them. And if you get one, it comes in a virtual box. So you can either unbox it and play with that character and make that character very unique because it's a limited edition one that has a lot of skill. Or you can keep it boxed in mint condition, kind of shoes or something, and hang on to it for a while and sell it. Yeah.
Let the value.
Yeah. It's a very interesting concept, right? And my buddy, so one of my best friends is he's a crypto, that's his career. He's in business development for crypto projects. And he was just at a conference in New York City. He's still in New York City, but the conference ended. And one of the first things he told me, he was everyone's talking about Blancos. this has the crypto world excited. So that's why I was like, I knew I found the right game. This is awesome to hear like that validation, you know. So
Yeah, I'll be starting tonight for sure.
check it out, man. And if you get into it, because like I've told everyone about it, but like there's only 2 people that have like actually, and they don't have PCs, so they're just on the marketplace like buying the things.
Yeah.
But if you want to play it, like we could play it together too. That'd be pretty sweet.
Is it just on PC or can I do it like Xbox? Or?
Just on PC for now.
Okay.
Yeah, just on PC. I have I bought a gaming laptop just for all the production stuff that I do. So
Yeah.
I already had one, which is nice. I don't know if you have a PC. Do you have a PC?
I'm actually borrowing my sister's right now.
Nice. The towers for market research is to make you a millionaire, right?
Sounds good. I'll split it with her.
All right, cool. So what else, man? What else is going on? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Staying busy,
Yeah.
coaching, man.
So you're coaching, and
Yep.
then so does the do you bleed into like the other seasons? You know what I mean? Like, is there any crossover with your football and?
From when I end in July to coaching college, kind of overlap just a little bit. But then from when coaching's done in November, December, I have like a 3-month window until I got to get down to Kansas for camp.
Okay.
So
I
that's
gotcha.
kind of the holidays I kind of get to keep to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to say it's no football, but I've learned that there's no such thing as no football for me.
Yeah. Well, it's it's in your life. I mean, it's a
Right.
part of you. Yeah.
I find it even when I'm not looking for it. So
Do you life has a way of kind of sending you your life's mission, and
Yep.
obviously this has been yours. Do you so how long is your season? So how long you living in Kansas for?
So we go from, I think camp starts mid to end of February. And then like last year we played the championship game on July 19th.
Wow.
No, I didn't get back to Michigan until like August 2nd or August 3rd.
Oh, so that's like the majority of the year then. February to well, I guess half the year. Yeah, that's wild. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So do you keep in touch with a lot of the guys in the team?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is the team pretty similar year to year?
You've got your core veterans. You've got your guys that have been around the league, been around the team for about 4, 5, 6 years.
Did you say you won the championship?
We lost on the last play.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard championship.
Actually-
I'm sorry.
Actually, it was a blocked field goal that lost it for us.
Are you kidding me? Oh,
No,
my
I wish
God.
I was. That stung for a couple days.
Well, this is awkward. I'm happy I brought that up.
No, it is what it's part of the game. That's
Right.
It's fun though. I mean, just go back and win it this year.
Who was it against?
Omaha Beef.
Oh, yeah. They're another city, without
Yep.
pro sports that I know they're
Yep.
into it too.
Oh, they got a crazy fan base.
Yeah, I went to the national championship was there for triathlon 2 years in a row. So I was there
Okay.
2 years in a row, and like they were nuts for triathlon. It was crazy.
They got like the World Series of baseball or
Yep.
college baseball.
The
World
stadium's
Series.
right there. Yep, downtown.
They got arena football. They've got the longest standing arena football team, like ever.
Do they really?
They've been around for I want to say 20 some odd years, 22, 23.
That's such a cool name too, the Omaha Beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these teams play off of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Trying to think, kind of like the Golden Knights of Vegas. Like,
Yeah.
trying to think who else does. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now. But a lot
The
of-
Buffalo Lightning. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
right?
Damn it! I had a question and I completely. Oh, I know. I had to bring something up here. I'd be killed if I didn't. So one of my best friends down here, she went to Michigan, and when I was at, we were hanging out last weekend, and I told her that I was going to have you on the show, and I was telling her about your brother, and she
Right.
was like, "Wait a minute!" And what's your brother's name?
Kenny.
And she was like, "Wait a minute, was Kenny the kicker? Like, in what years was he the kicker?"
He graduated high school in 12, so I think from like 12 to 2016.
Yeah, and that's when she went to Michigan.
Okay.
So she like lost her mind. So I had to give a shout out to Ellie that I brought the story up. But yeah, so that's for people who don't know. That's your brother. So kicking runs in
Yep.
your family.
Yeah. Yep.
So he played for University of Michigan for 4 years.
Kicked and punted there, and then he went to the Ravens, and then he went to New Orleans. With the Saints.
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow, that's really cool. So that's what an exciting career.
Oh yeah.
So you got two successful. Wow, you got two successful.
Well,
kickers.
one success is a little bit higher than the other one.
Hey man, I love Joe Rogan. One of his favorites. One of his favorite quotes that he always says is, "Comparison is the thief of joy."
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
No, man, because think about how little people get to do what you do. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's impressive, man, to have a family that is able to do that at a very high level. It's really neat.
It's kind of what we're known for at this point.
Yeah, you guys should do like a camp or something. You know.
We do. We got Allen Kicking Academy.
There you go.
We're way ahead of you, Goldie.
That's I mean, like you wouldn't have thought about that before this moment. You know what I mean? Like, what a dope, you know. But for you folks out there, we're gonna put after every show. What I like to do is I put all of your links in the comments or in the show notes at the end. So for those listening, if you're interested, I mean, want to talk a little bit about the camp? You know, like when it is, and you guys still doing it? Or?
So it's more just like training, like lessons 1-on-1, and so like right now in the Flint area, we do we've got like 10, 12 high schoolers that we work with. It's tough to do it when I'm coaching,
right?
So it does take up a lot of time. So it's kind of fallen by the wayside right now, but I'm hoping to get it back up and maybe do something with that in Kansas. Or
do you have any like links or anything where people would be able to kind of?
I've got socials. It's Allen Kicking Academy on Facebook, Allen Kicking Academy on Twitter as well.
That's awesome. We'll post that. So when we're done here, just shoot over any links associated with that, and then I'll put it in there. Do you do anything virtually?
No, actually, that's something I've been wanting to start doing.
I think you should, because I think you're going to go viral, obviously, after the show, and you're going to have just, people beating down your door for lessons. So
I'll probably go viral from making fun of Dallas hockey.
That's true. That's true. Hey, it's better to be known for something than nothing at all, right?
Right.
Any publicity is good publicity, so I'll take
Right.
it. I'll just have to walk around with the hood on now in Dallas. So
Yeah.
no one
You come up to Detroit.
Okay, that sounds good. I actually was very, very close to moving to Detroit right before the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah, I had an interview. I was going to work for the, who was it? It was the Tigers and the Red Wings. That would have been.
So it'd be the, I'm trying to think who owns that.
I don't know.
Big name guy. I think he's got Little Caesars.
It's a Little
Or Domino's.
Caesars. Yeah,
Little
yep.
Caesars.
But yeah, so we it's pretty crazy. We were going to do that because our goal when we moved here was to get into work in pro sports. Well, we didn't choose to move here. We did, but I applied at jobs like all over the country to work in pro sports, and the goal was to work for the Bills or the Sabres at some point. And I put my resume across the country, and my girlfriend at the time, I'd give her a list of cities that there were job openings, and she'd be like, "I'll move here, 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 and here. I do not want to move there, there, and there." So the places that she'd be willing to move to, I'd apply. So I got the job in Dallas, or Frisco, and they were like, "Can you be here in 2 weeks?" And we're like, "Yep." I'd never been to Texas, had no idea what it was like here, and we moved here, and we were like, "We'll just do a year here, a year or two, and then we'll move on, to, if not Buffalo, somewhere closer to home, So
Right.
I got, got offered the job in Detroit, and then I got offered the job for Madison Square Garden. I was going to work for the Knicks and the
MSG?
Rangers. Yep. And that would have been really sweet. It's a cheap flight back to Buffalo. That would have been in February of 2020. So we would have moved to New York City
And then been locked down.
as it was all happening. Yeah. So obviously after the pandemic, I'm not in pro sports anymore because I was the manager of the group sales team, and selling tickets during a pandemic doesn't really work. And I landed on my feet. I got a great job now, and we love Texas. We're not leaving. So
No,
we love it here, man. It's I don't know what Corpus Christi was like, when you were there. But
it was spring break every day. I lived on the ocean.
That's
It was
awesome.
amazing. It was coming from Michigan. I mean, we
Right.
have lakes, but I got to drive my car on the sand on the beach and
Oh, that's
hang
cool.
out with, and the Texas accent from the women. I fell in love every day. It was beautiful.
Because it's down there, right? Like
It's yeah. I'm what 2 hours from McAllen, maybe an hour.
wow.
on the
So
border.
yeah, we haven't been to any like. I mean, we've been to Houston, but not really a big fan of Houston. It was all right, but we haven't been to any like the beach cities like that, and we
You
gotta
go
get
to
down there.
Memphis.
Yeah,
It's fun.
nice, man. That's yeah, that's definitely something on our bucket list in Texas.
I'm
gotta do.
gonna have to come down to Frisco because I'm missing my Whataburger. We
Yo.
don't have one in Kansas.
There's one right around the block, man.
I'm on my way.
I don't know why my voice is correct, like I'm a 5-year-old, but yeah, I don't know if you want to come here though, because a lot of people come here and then they never want to leave. So I've had like 3 or 4 friends actually move here. My mom is moving here in a couple weeks. Like
Really?
yeah, it's a beautiful place, man. It's where I am. I told you the Cowboys practice here, the Stars practice here. We have a AA baseball team that has a lazy river in the outfield.
That's pretty cool.
It's so cool. It's beautiful.
We'll wait till I retire then.
That's
Then
cool.
I'll come down.
All right, so you're 29, what, another 12 years in the league or what?
I'm not trying to be vintage. I wouldn't
Nice
mind
reference.
it. I wouldn't mind it, but they're gonna have to bump that pay up a little bit.
You got to stop jeez, why can't they tearing your quad, you know?
That'd be ideal. I'm trying.
How you feeling now? You ready to go?
I'm good. I had like the best year of my career last year.
Yeah?
So I'm
Nice.
feeling good. I just want to stay on par with that.
Yeah.
So.
That's so cool, man. Well, I'll tell you, we've done an hour here, so I think it's a good time to call it a break, but I really appreciate you coming on here on Friday night, man. And it was really nice to catch up with you. We'll stay in touch, obviously, as we
Yeah, of
always
course.
do.
Yeah.
Any last words or anything, or
I appreciate my favorite holder, the best holder I've ever had, having me on the show. It's been fun.
you heard it, all of
Hey.
his other holders. I'm the best.
Hey, and you keep talking about what I'm doing. I see you doing your thing too, out there running.
Hey, man, we all got our own things, right? So
Team USA.
Yeah, I actually have the national championship next week, so it's I'm going to Tempe on Thursday, and the race is Saturday morning, and my wife's gonna live stream it. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been training my ass off, so
We'll be watching for sure.
Yeah, hopefully it comes through. You know how it is to train and succeed at something, so it's a good feeling. It's a really good
Oh yeah.
feeling. So
If anybody can do it, it's you.
appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate the kind words. But thanks for listening, everybody. Follow Jimmy. I'm going to put all his socials, the Kicking Academy, and everything in the show notes. And that is it for episode number 46.